the buried treasure locations just like instantly.
Buried treasure?
I've never heard of that. So I'm excited to see this.
I feel like I've seen so many new things since the new patch.
Yeah, maybe they like patch it up.
Yeah, maybe they just actually added like new ones.
They did. They said some of the relics were bugged and not dropping, so.
I see. Oh, well, this is a good comp for this fight.
I think so. Would you recommend this for solo players now? Definitely. Yeah.
Have you been getting a 15 in solo, Oro?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. Yo, Afro Carrot, thank you for the 3 months. Solo is easier than a bad group, but now by far, yeah, I believe it.
I did get one.
Nice.
Need to dip into a mine for me.
There's
eventually.
3 treasures marked. Okay.
Any lightning cams? I didn't see any. Nope. Huh. Yeah, I'm lucky. Good thing I brought this.
What are they saying skin?
Oh my god, we're so cute.
That's so cute.
Oh. There you go. Really nice passives already. Improved incants, improved attack power, full HP. Oh, jealous.
It's pretty good. Do you start with a key by chance?
Nope.
Okay.
The bonus is only 3%. I'm like done with that trash. That's actually definitely adds up. Definitely not as much as we thought.
Oh
shit.
I got one shot. Darksa.
Just throwing.
Help!
Just
Save me!
Sorry, I missed.
I got him.
This guy hurts, man.
Very nice. Let's look in the wall.
Oh, there's no stone sword key.
Darn.
Unlucky. I do not. Nah.
Well, that's okay.
Do the passives of the weapon count like also in like the second row or only in the first row?
They all count.
They count as long as it's not red. There's like a red hand on it sometimes, and that means it has to be like in your hand for it to work.
Do you want to go to this camp?
Yeah. We're a little behind, but
It's all good.
no stall, straight to gaming. Yes, sir.
But just a baby boss here.
Baby boss. Oh yeah, we can jump into the castle. Arksa.
My favorite's Wilder for sure. You can jump right into this one, really?
Castle?
Yeah, if you go to my ping.
Oh, I see it.
I'm like that.
Hi. Oh, the boss is already dead.
Yeah, I'm a god.
Yes.
Did I turn down the game a little bit? Yeah, sure.
You guys are just too slow.
Black flame.
Sun sword. We got one.
Oh, here. You know what, Oro? Take this. Put that on your offhand.
Ooh, don't mind if I do,
It's so
thank you.
good, honestly. That's
It
like
is
one of my
very good.
favorite side.
Flintstone?
The free
Yeah.
stones, yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Oh.
You got everything?
Got all of the magics.
All the junk?
All the junk, yes.
Let's do this cathedral and then sun sword.
Sure.
Not like a whole lot of good shit, but after that maybe go up to castle.
Yeah,
Start
sure.
doing Castle. Because day 2 we want to go.
Do
Rot
we
for
want to
sure.
go straight down to the church and grab it right now before
Yeah.
circle closes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea. What about the other one? Save
I
that
feel
for
like
later?
maybe that's day 2 church or something.
Okay. That's fair.
I mean, we could get it right now.
It feels nice to not be the navigator for once. This is my first
usually
time
the
not
navigator?
navigating. Yeah, always.
Wow. I'm always the navigator. I don't mind it. I think it's fun to route, like efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same.
I've got so many little randoms to easy wins. It's been fun.
Yeah, I haven't played with randoms yet at all, but
Wow.
it seems fun. I'm like,
You and Parky just too good for randoms, huh?
yeah, I don't know. I've been scared. Okay, I've got the marked treasure.
should
It's
be.
it's over here.
You fucking should be. What is it? Okay.
I got the treasure
Oh,
chest.
Do you like? Is there like an animation like Sea of Thieves? Oh no, it's just like here. Green burst crystal. Do you want that?
I can explode now. Great.
Yay! Explosion. Oh, we gotta fucking move. Holy.
We're okay.
We're not getting that other church. We'll get it when we go to the rock. Let's do Evergaol maybe. Do it like
We
now.
don't have a key still. I don't think. Do you have a key? Cause I don't.
I thought we picked one up. That's
Nope.
so-
That's not good. Yeah, my audio just cut out for no reason. That's not good. Can't hear you guys. Check. Can you hear me? Oh, it's back.
Hello?
What the?
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
you have a
silver
key. Nice.
Yeah, I have a key. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell happened. The game literally. Can you guys hear me? Stream video is frozen. Wait. Okay. Oh yeah, what the fuck?
Everything okay?
I have no idea. I think my computer had
So sorry about that, guys.
I can't believe
Crashed
you.
out.
Yeah, that was really weird.
It's all good.
Okay. Use FP. Oh god, I gotta.
To me, the game was so unplayable because of the microstutters. I couldn't say the medium set.
This game has done this to me. To be fair, it's not the game. I have a 2 PC setup, so it's just my streaming PC, just like randomly like dead. It's never done that. It's really weird and a little worrying, admittedly. Also, hi, Caleb. Do I do? Well, who are we fighting?
Oh
yeah.
I don't know. We might want to go to the castle now.
Yeah, let's do it.
This game definitely isn't most optimal. Yeah, let's do our castle.
You guys, do you want to try to do the one at the top?
No.
No. What if
Level
it's
6,
what?
brother.
It's fine.
Dude, I die at level 9.
Oh,
to
it's
this guy
it's
that
Crucible
got-
Knights. Okay, let's just.
Hold on, man. Did we kill all the Crucible Knights and then go bottom? Or do we do bottom? I think we should do bottom first.
Yeah.
Down to go to the bottom.
Yeah, you know? Okay, let's go. Thank you for the heal.
Mm-hmm. My pleasure.
Milady?
Follow us, Lurksa.
Touch the rune juice. Jellyfish for no goddamn good reason, and let's go. Please something easy. I was laughing at the spell.
Got you. Oh my god.
What has happened? Firing squad.
We destroyed it.
Legendary, I'll take it. Insane. Yeah, if the bell bearing's there, I just turn it on. Like, nope.
Yeah, that checks out.
Oh, like the rest.
Yeah, the fucking unless you got bleed, and you just delete him. I think I killed him in like 5 seconds last run. It was insane. I had seppuku, bleed, and frost, and he just like died. Just sent him home. That's a good thing we did that first. I think unfortunately that is all we'll be doing.
Alright.
We gotta move.
Yeah.
I do not read chat.
We
No one can read.
we can go and we can try to go into this mine if you want
We'll do it.
and snag a stone before.
Let's do it.
Alright.
That would be really, really good. Yeah.
Let's I think we can use the spirit spring.
To, like jump sideways. into
Yeah.
it. Oh boy.
Whee.
Oh yeah. It's all coming together. Insane.
This might be a little tight.
It's fine.
I mean, I do have heals, so that's good.
You're a speedrunner.
Yeah.
Why is this so far in? You're gonna really not good.
It's just this guy.
Oh, I can hear it. He needs to die like yesterday. Why does it have a prompt? I still don't understand if it's empty. If my there's nothing there. It just swaps you.
Yeah.
I'll go to this dung beetle.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine. We're on our way out.
we're zooming.
Yeah. Oh, there's a hippo!
Hippo.
Yeah! I was killed a hippo.
Okay, ping, hippo, up there.
How to ping it?
If you hold triangle and then press your left stick,
Yep.
Okay, I
There you go. Insane. Coming.
I think it might be maybe a little too late. We're coming
I
though.
got ult.
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
I got ult in dreams, this. You ult too.
Yeah.
So
Go!
get me ult.
Go! I also have ult.
Okay, we're
I'm
fine.
open.
Okay. It's one dead. This you're dead.
Hell yeah.
I'm fine.
Run. Grab it, run. Huge. There's Grace on the way.
Is it gonna turn off? Oh, still got it.
Oh, that was so funny.
Easy drive-by. Woo! Spicy. It's rats. Means people asking about it.
Boom.
Very nice. Yup.
That's the wrong ability. Oopsie.
Did you press start? I just realized. Our stream together thing?
Yeah, I think it is.
Streaming together? Oh, what do I know? I don't see it.
I'll take it down.
It says it, I believe. Maybe mistake. She's verified, by the way.
Oh shit.
Normal normies in the chat. All of them. I love you guys.
I'm probably best off just spamming Slicer. It's not as exciting though. To be honest.
People check marks could be the worst.
Oh yeah, we could have cut the tail.
Shoot you, I
True.
did ban one the
I
other
had to
day.
ban one too. I had to ban one
Yeah.
too.
That was insane.
Someone's trying to do a Raid Shadow Legend scam. Number one, I had
Yeah.
one with the Raid Shadow Legend scam. It was like follow for follow, money for money instead. And I was like, no, that's illegal.
That's illegal.
What was another one that stole my art? He
Your
stole my art.
art?
Yeah. And I
Wait,
gave
a
him
part?
definite proof, and he was like, yeah, fuck you. And I was like, okay.
A
So I brought
partnered
it up
streamer?
on Twitch. Yeah, partnered streamer, dude.
Dang.
I know.
I say we go north.
Okay.
So what is the bottom right, the flag? What is that? Like bottom right there, the red flag.
It's like
Oh,
a
that is,
special
the
location.
event. That is the event objective, essentially.
Okay, we go there?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna go there. Like
Hell
immediately
yeah!
after this.
I'm so excited.
Wait, what is over here?
There's a boss, and then we can take the tree to the
Is there
church.
a boss?
Yeah, there's two bosses here most of the time in this top left corner.
Are they? Why aren't they pinged?
I don't know,
they-
but there are. There's one on the left side here. There's a scion, and there's also a wolf.
Very nice. I'm doing the wolf feat. You know there's a merchant too, because I need to upgrade.
Yeah, I do need to upgrade a bit.
There's still a scion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess I'll go wolf because still scion works.
We've almost killed it.
I almost killed the wolf. I say almost. Half health. Actually, this is insane.
All right, we're coming, buddy.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
I am actually. Look at that.
I made it just in time for the loot.
Oh yeah. Ooh, damage? Or do range damage? Yeah, we do.
Alright, we could take this tree, Larksa.
Tree?
Yeah,
Oh
over
my
by me.
God.
Okay.
Oh my god. This is such a hard decision. More damage, fuck it. Max damage. This is a disgusting run.
You got good gear this time?
Yeah, literally
Nice.
like maxed out. All I need to do is visit a dude and I'm fucking stacked. This is the most insane run.
Yeah, usually I barely scrape level 6 when I play at the first night.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so fast.
we gotta get down to the rot.
Yeah. We can
These are big bosses.
yeah, just get
Oh,
that
they're
church and then we can take the other tree
Okay.
down to the rot place.
Yeah, I think we're not gonna get that one.
We could take the tree all the way down to that church. It might be kind of unnecessary though. I don't really think we need that extra
I
church,
don't think we
but
need that either. I don't think we need it either. I'm gonna veto it.
we can just scoop the weapon upgrade at this fire camp as well.
Good idea. Good idea. Where is it? He's right over there. God, watch out. Oh, there he is. I see his ass. Oh boy. Can you distract him?
I'm trying to plunge him, but it's not working.
It's fine. let's just go to the tree, yeah?
All right.
Nah. It's pretty useless. They die in like one hit, but even then, I think it's sort of a waste of time. Just at this point.
Yeah, they're good early on.
Yeah. We gotta get to the rock place and we gotta get to it quick. So.
Yeah, I mean the circle just started closing, so it's not too bad.
Do you want to land right on top of this boss?
Sure. I mean we'll have time to clear the entire
Yeah. Do you want to do
swamp.
the secret first or the bosses first?
We could probably just find the secret.
Okay. Let's drop that.
Could maybe.
Looks like Draconic. Try to get me, you fucker.
Oh my.
Cool, cool, cool.
Legendary!
Spellcasting speed.
Bunch of crap.
Wonder if attack power while two-handing works.
Boss right here.
Probably not.
Like right around the corner.
How was the soup? It was good. It was pretty good.
Oh fuck. Bell bearing. Do we want to even do them?
I'm down.
Yeah, let's fuck him
Okay.
up.
We'll cook him.
Fuck them. Fuck them. Don't be instant me.
Alright, he'll cook Oro.
Me instead, or cook me instead, you know, like the dinner you guys had? What'd you guys get?
Oh, we got so much. Hit him with the black hole. Ooh.
There we go. Nice mark. High mark. Dude, stars. When did you get that? Plastic stars alone.
I've got 2 of them.
He got blast.
He's dead already. That's crazy.
Yeah, let's go!
Nice job. Legendary. Craft the dragon. Never mind.
Grab the dragon is kind of sick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, when you, if you get like a riposte with it, you
Wait,
like
no,
shoot
let's do this
fire
one.
all over the place.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know if it's good for Ironhide, but
Yeah.
it was fun
cool.
when I was playing as Wilder.
Love this game bringing together all the goats of Elden Ring. Me too. Me too. I love doing the collab streams. It's so much fun. I still have so many more people I want to play with. It's actually not. I'm glad I'm finally able to play with you guys. Gosh, it's been since forever. Last week. So long. I haven't played Larks at all yet. So.
Woo!
So far, this is like the perfect Iron Eye run. Got the most last second too. I like
Yeah!
damn. Clean as fuck. Keep on going. Let's keep this boss murder train rolling. Fucking garbage. Alright. Next. Still no level 13? I sleep.
I have so many.
Oh, it's Elk. Should be easy.
Oh yeah, yeah, with our comp.
We're gonna just fucking blast him. Yep. Like, okay, jumping in the air. Shit. Just out of range there. Hurry up! Die quicker!
14% range attack.
I'll take it. Ooh, insane. There we go, level 13. One more level and I'll be happy.
This is the highest I've been.
Really?
Yeah. all,
This run
my,
is actually nuts.
all my runs
Right
ended
bird.
level 10.
Okay, perfect. Perfect positioning. It's gonna be right on the last mob we need. Right in the head.
I'll open. You guys can heal a bit then.
We're insane. We're unstoppable. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, never
I'm gonna
mind.
die too! No, please!
Uh, I'm sorry, I'm griefing.
Oh my god. I didn't realize how low I was.
Didn't realize how far away I was from you.
Thank you. Alright, can we kill this last one?
Yeah, it's
We're
pretty
gonna-
close to
we're
the
just gonna deal
circle.
with the- Yeah, we're not getting the secret.
Oh, right. Technically, we might be able to grab it, like, after this or after day 2 is over if we see it nearby. It could be close to us. It is, yeah, it's actually...
It is? You see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's northwest of us.
Do you want to grab it?
Oh, I mean, we can get it after day 2 is over. There's really no downside.
Let's kill the dragon. Kill the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Maybe not.
I got you. Dude, I can't lock on.
Yeah, it's too fast.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Ruh-roh. Larksa, shoot me.
I'm this so locked on. It's locked onto the fucking worm. Yeah, let's just get out of here.
What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I want to, but...
I mean, if he comes in here, we can kill him.
Can I do witching brand now?
He's like stuck. He's trying.
Oh my god! I thought this was witching brand.
Dude, are you kidding? That's actually so grief.
Oh no.
Okay, got you. There's no timer, thankfully, but...
Dude, that was gonna be perfect. And then, like, it's greedy, but I had the ult on him. It's just...
I'm shooting him. Just cover me. I'll slowly kill him outside.
Yeah.
Oh god, no! Oh god, they're both on me!
I'm going in, I'm nuking. Got my ruptured crystal tier. Oh, huge.
Oh, you got him. Good job. Holy shit.
Thank you. Nice. We'll grab it after, yeah.
This is so scuffed.
I'm dying to rot.
Oh yeah, same. That's why I died.
Yep. You said you know what the secret is this? Oh, thank you for the heals, dude. Can you do one more?
I gotcha.
Okay, I'm giga pumping. I'm super pumping.
I tried to fucking...
I'm gonna die to
You have any assist left?
Nope.
These two. We maybe played a little too greedy. Okay, wait, I can ult you.
I can get her.
No, don't worry. Watch this. Okay, well, fuck him then. What the fuck?
That did too much.
Didn't do anything, I'm dead. Oh, this is really good, this. Hold on. Oh, nice dodge. If you can ult us,
Yeah, I'm gonna try to...
Oh wait, no, it's not. Yeah, no, we got a little...
Oh, and I got rotted too.
It's not over, it's not
Do I have a melee weapon? I do.
It's all good. Yeah, definitely stack, make it a little easier.
Oh my god, I did not mean to do that.
Do you have heals? Oh my god. Dude,
I'm
this
clutching
is
up,
psycho.
bro.
None of us have healing.
It's fine. It's fine. I got this.
Man. Recluse only does 1 bar res with their ult. Oh, that's so bad.
What is he doing?
Yeah,
He's just
I don't
fucking
know what to do,
watching.
dude. Watch out,
Okay, this is,
Sergeant.
yep.
Oh shit!
And I got, okay, that's fine. Nope, it's fine. Wait, what if I do this? Oh,
Reposition. First thing.
okay, I just, oh,
Oh my god, the rot, dude.
Yeah, they're wrong.
You're gonna run out of juice, right? There it is. Not enough. Hit the boss and your health back.
oh my god, I'm so bad. Oh, yo! Okay, he's
I
fine.
did use my res, but it's fine.
Oh, you had a winding grace, I see.
Just back. Back.
Dude, rezzing as Recluse is literally just
There you are.
absolute suffering. It's
You
insane.
gotta talk to me, brother.
Oh, I've been muted the whole time!
Oh,
I didn't know!
Just focus up.
Dude, rezzing as Recluse is so horrible. Like, oh my god. Like, magic is just so bad. Yeah, I'm on her.
oh, he's on me.
Like, look at this nonsense, guys. It's crazy. Yeah, I got
As
her.
much as I can. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Alright, I'm gonna try to shoot Oro.
Alright, yeah, you shoot Oro.
The boss.
No, you can get on Oro. We can get him up. We got this.
Oh,
I am so bad.
Fuck.
Everything is pain!
It's all over.
Oh, I should have used my fucking shard. Oh my god.
Okay. Nice try, guys.
Dude.
We got greedy.
Recluse is so
really
bad
greedy,
for
man.
rezzing. It's
That was
so...
like my best run.
It's so bad for rezzing. Like, you just can't fucking do anything.
the greed.
Oh
got
my
greedy.
god. Why is it so bad, man? Fucking hell.
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
terrible.
If we went straight
I fucked
there,
up.
if we went straight there day 2 instead of like killing the 2 bosses, we would have been better off.
I mean, honestly, instead of fighting the Magma Wyrm, we could have just grabbed the rot protection, and we
Yep.
would have been good.
Yep, I think that would have literally saved us.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's crazy, like, how terrible Recluse is at resin, though. Like, the magic
Yeah.
abilities, it can take... Like, I was using Comet, which is, like, a pretty strong magic spell, and it was, like, 5 comets per bar. Like, I gotta cast 15 times to res.
That's actually
Like,
fucking stupid.
that's like my entire mana bar. It's just ridiculous. And then, like, Carrion Slicer is, like... It's like 30 slicers for like a 3-bar res.
I don't know why she's like that.
Yeah, and I don't get it either. All right.
Iron Eye's really good at rezzing.
Yeah, for sure.
Pew, pew,
Yeah,
pew, pew,
true.
pew, 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 and you're back. It's crazy. I was getting fucked.
I was trying the lava spell,
you guys down for
even...
another?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll run it back. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was so bad, man. And then like I ulted the Magma Wyrm outside, and the Magma Wyrm was like just running into the wall, and all of my casts were somehow going over his head while I was locked on.
We'll get a run like that going again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, getting a run like that isn't too hard.
I was just saying, I've been having a lot more fun in this game than I thought I would. I was starting to get bored by the end of the review period, and then the game came out and playing with friends and stuff, and then now the relic patch, actually having like relics to grind for, like I'm pumped again, dude.
Yeah, Guardian is good for rezzing.
Relics, but
All right, we go again, dude. I'm honestly embarrassed. I bet it's been so long since I've played with like teammates that I just kind of fell apart there in that last run. There's range attacks.
Gibby?
Is the easy mode team. Honestly, I think just like double Iron Eye plus like Raider would be. I don't know, man. Raider's just so good.
Like Wilder and his double grapple and stuff.
I wonder how the black hole is for rezzing.
Already a pretty decent run here. Stone sword?
Yeah, I got a key.
Hell yeah, finally some good RNG. Let's do it. It's right there.
Here, I'm gonna drop it for you. I'm gonna go up top and see if I can get a good seal real quick.
Okay. Lux, you wanna come with me?
I'll be right behind you guys.
Yeah.
We'll tackle this. Oh fuck! I shouldn't have said anything.
Huh.
It's beating my ass.
What's up, Whippy?
Oh. A lot is coming.
Sorry. What's my bad?
Oh, it's this guy.
Sorry.
That was funny as fuck. Oh shit. Alright. Where we going? That's pretty good. Was that Oro screaming because he found Moonveil? Yes, Chase.
We could go north and take the tree if you're down.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
There's a tree over there?
Yeah, we might be able to kill like a boss or two again, too.
Yeah, I'm down. Level 4 bosses here. Fuck it. We can do anything. There's Dogo.
It's another Scion. Let's do the Scion first, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, let's not split.
Not split up, yeah.
Not for this one.
Oh, okay. You one-shot me? Yeah.
Ooh. Nice one. That'll be huge.
Dude, it's such a long cast time. Oh my god. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, thanks guys.
Yep.
Thanks guys.
So everyone's first time is hard.
Your voice reminded me of like the sad people like on the floor and you're like looking up, yeah. Ow! Dead.
Yeah, let's go!
That's good. Only one level? Man.
Yeah.
Let's go
Alright,
do
let's take the
search.
tree. Oh, goodbye, Aura.
I did. Have fun, I'll race you. Do be dropping.
Raise physical attack. Yeah, you know what? Take what
we'll
we can
lose this
get.
raise. It's okay. What after this? What are you on?
What's up?
What are you attacking over there? Is there a beetle or something?
There was the hidden treasure.
Oh, is it good?
No, it was shit.
Oh.
It was terrible.
Invaders over
Oh,
there.
yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Unfortunately, it's out of the circle, so I don't think we are going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we can go straight castle, and that'll be as much fun.
Have you
as-
seen the door, Oro?
Yeah.
You know about the
secret
door?
Yeah,
The door.
I know about everything. I'm a knower, man. I just learned about the door thing. I've never
There's-
seen the thing to it. So.
There's a boss like right by this double spirit spring too, but
Do you know how to get the item? Oh yeah, we could. It's Loretta.
oh yeah, maybe
She's
not.
down here. Yeah, I'm thinking no.
Oh,
Okay.
Loretta!
How about a damage test? Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
I need an upgrade, so you guys go start castle, and I will go kill.
Are you going to a mine?
The knight. Yeah, the mine.
Okay.
Same thing as last time.
What door? I will show you.
This one. You don't need to know anything about Elden Ring to play this game at all. It's a nice thing. Totally separate.
Yeah, there's a door right here, Larksa.
Oh, what the fuck?
You need to get a legendary to open it.
Oh, come on. I had to be someone with a fucking shield.
Alright, well we can go below Larksa.
Oh, okay.
What do I even do?
What are you fighting?
The shield.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, no one can use this guy.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god. Everything's under control. Yes, everything's under control. Damn it.
Whoa!
Oh, where are you guys at?
Oh yeah, we're in the basement.
5 rivers of blood.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Crazy.
Not great for us, but still
Yeah.
cool.
It's like the grace that dresses you.
That's the best thing in the game.
Oh, okay, I'll take that one. It's like also use it as a passive.
Yep, as soon as everybody goes down, you're back up. That's what happened in the last game.
Bro, this fucking. Oh my god. Playing as Recluse is like, I love it. I like this class, but it's like so painful, honestly. Playing as a melee is just like fucking easy mode.
Oh, Draconers, that is sort of crap.
Well, it's all Crucible Knights
I'm gonna
again.
give Dist here before you pick.
Hmm?
I have something for you. Oh, did you already pick your talisman?
Ooh. See?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's kill
Oh, improved charge attack speed. Actually, that's not gonna help. Never mind. Great shield though. I've never even seen that. No, we're not. It's coming. In fact, I need to run to upgrade very quickly or else I'm gonna have
Oh god.
to be doing way less. Oh my god, game. Not the time.
Are you lagging?
Oh, fine.
Nice.
I'm good.
Run, Larksa, run.
I'm running!
My god, Dist, are you good?
I'm good.
Actually, I might be dead.
No!
Yeah. If you guys could get me, that would be awesome. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I made it. I lived, bitch. Not any of you guys a bitch, but like in general. I also have 1 HP and no Estus, so yeah, I need that. If I don't make it to there before
we'll
the
make
gas,
it there. It'll be
I might
fine.
want to kill this camp, admittedly. If you could just insta-kill like the baby camp.
Oh, for grace?
Yeah. Could you please actually?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it to the other one. I'm not gonna make it
I
to
think
the
you.
other
I
one.
think you can make it.
Oh, I just got one. Yeah. I just got a great.
Oh, right. I see you.
I'll make it now.
Wait, where did the yellow come from?
Random people online.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's something. I think when they touch a church or something, they can like help you out. There's some weird mechanic going on there. I'm almost positive.
I'm stuck.
Let's go. Okay, so immediately after this, you guys want to go, Caleb?
Yeah,
Sure.
Super
yeah.
Rot?
We can take the tree next to us. Actually.
Dude, that smells so cool.
I don't think I hit anything with it.
Whatever.
It did.
was
You know,
cool.
it looked cool.
It looked cool, dude. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't have any holy. It's so hard to get holy effects. Like the cocktail is so much fun to use, but it's so hard to use.
That's good.
All right,
We did it.
tree time.
Free time. Let's go. No time like the present. Whee! How about this castle? How about we like one shot this little guy in here? It'll be funny.
Sure.
Oh, I can't see. See, that's very funny. And fucking nothing. Stone sword? Let's go. Bird? No, no bird. Oh, bird. I'm having a meltdown, sorry. Bird? I got it. Do you guys want to grab these actually?
Yeah,
One,
sure.
two, and then go in? Yeah?
Yeah.
Just for safety. Last time, that wasn't very good. Oh, there's a one-shot camp on the way, but it's gonna take time. What do we do? I don't know.
What, the fire one?
The fire one, yeah, like right here.
Skip a fire, skip a
Skip a-
fire. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's a Dragon Crest talisman I marked.
I'll take it. That's nice. Alright, and then the next one, and then right into the rot, yeah. Do you want to kill this boss to the south since we're here? I think it's
Let's
a
do
good
it.
idea. Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
Sure.
I think it's efficient.
Wait, you guys didn't do the church with the blue thing yet, right?
Nope.
No.
So we'll go do that after this.
Alright. What does boss speak to the final one? Lightning?
Triangle and left stick in to ping stuff on the ground.
Oh yeah, I've
And
seen
assault.
that before, Ryut, the Encore boss. I've only seen it
Playing with
once.
friends and randoms.
Did you
Magic
know?
negation.
Did you know that you could get 2 bosses at the end of night?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I've only seen it one time ever.
they added that. Oh, he did one. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Fuck that. Oh my god. Why? Oh, he broke the thing! Holy shit. I didn't even know
Oh, he one-shot me.
I'm more worried about our squishy combo, but alright.
Yeah, we're a little squishy.
Poor game. It's fine. You guys want to upgrade mats? It's behind us. It's huge. Alright, let's run to the church and then run to the route. We'll just roll up in there. How's that?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
there's a misbegotten in the
I
middle,
like
too. I'm gonna beat it
Recluse,
then.
but this class just feels
Should die in, like, 2
so.
hits.
I don't know, man. The cocktail is cool, but it feels like it's just not worth it. It's like Executor. Like the parry is so cool, but it's just like not worth it, you know?
Insane. Some good loot. Ionizing horn charm here. It's trash. Are we guys just running right in, yeah?
Yep.
Do this first boss and then maybe do the secret this time?
Oh yeah, the
Yeah. Might be right when we enter
Only
here.
one of us need to grab the secret, so since there's like I
Oh?
don't think there's a boss up there, is there?
Wait, what do you mean only
Just
one of
run
us
in
needs it?
yeah, I'll just run in and grab the map.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
So
I mean,
other
we
guys-
might be able
you
to
guys
see
can
it.
be bosses.
Let's see.
Yeah, I might be able to just go and just check the spots, usual. So, we'll start off with this boss. Watch out, there's people here. Lots of them. Looks like a Magma Wyrm.
That's gonna. Oh, didn't one shot?
Oh my god. Oh my god, fuck off. Stupid ants.
Oh. Man, dude, this is the problem with multiplayer. I just like,
Do I?
I just spam.
Game.
Help.
I can't lock on you.
Sam, it doesn't let me lock on!
Yeah, I literally could. I have to do it
Oh.
manually.
All right, all right. Oh,
Trying to get you, but it won't fucking work.
I'm ulting.
There we go.
Are you fucking kidding? This game, dude. I just can't.
It's fine.
Oh, I can lock on now.
He just instantly kills me the moment my ult ends. Like I can't even move, dude. What am I doing, dude?
Yeah, we got him! Woo.
The Revenant ult is okay.
Man, bunch of crap. Should just grab something else and just dropped it. Okay, I'll run in to grab the secret. You guys go to the next boss. I'll ping it for you. Okay?
Yeah. Sounds
I don't see it over there. Oh no, it is over there. I do see it. It's west. We don't need to. Just come over here to where I am.
good. Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I think this is the same spawn we had last time too.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't even have to do the secret. Just beginning to learn the spawn points. It's actually crazy. thank God. Immune to rot. And a lot more health. Not so nice. Yeah, a little more health. We should do north. We should go north first in case it spawns. Yeah, it's a gamble either way. I've never seen it spawn up, so I think this is a safe bet.
Yeah, I think it can spawn. I think there's like 2 places the circle can end.
Yeah, right where we killed the last boss is usually where it spawns for me. And then by the other ones to the east. Oh, bell bearing here. Couldn't do it.
We have the.
You guys.
Yeah, we have the power now. So.
Okay.
I'm doing my part. Dodge back like half a mile, yeah.
Fucking smack my ass. Doesn't help. That's pretty good.
Do you have a lightning bow?
I do.
Okay, this is 12% lightning attack. Do you want to?
Please. Okay.
We could just get this DTS and then
Yeah, that sort of sucks.
it's probably kind of all we can do.
Yep. Yeah, I'm lucky with the circle. That's a good one. We're also pretty far. But I think this will be a safe run.
Who do you think is the worst class? I don't know. It's like it kind of depends. It's really hard to say actually.
Some good shit. Level 13.
Eternal darkness.
Kill everything. Everything you can.
Yeah.
I'll try to juice these levels out.
Yeah, Raider's really good.
Dragon there?
The dragon will kill him after.
Oh, okay. Wait, is this day 1?
This is day 2.
Oh,
Where is he? Is he farm?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll kill him after. Oh no, he despawned. Fuck.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he despawned.
yeah.
That's alright.
Like I haven't even been able to get holy at all. It's kind of rough.
Probably hit 14 at least.
Yeah, for sure. I'm bloodhound stepping.
This asshole.
Alright, time for revenge. He's too fucking far away. This is weird. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, what an idiot, dude. Spawned in and ran right into it. Nice job.
You hate death sorceries? They're good. They're just really slow.
Stamina.
I don't know. Like the thing
More
is, the thing,
damage.
Recluse is like fun, but it's also just, I don't know. It's a little just spammy.
Not a bad run at all. Yeah, no, I got some really good stuff.
I wonder if there's any spells that are good for like rezzing though. Like any caster. Yeah, true.
I'm broke. You guys good?
Yeah. I'm so excited to see his boss.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
Slicer is good for rezzing. Slicer is actually one of the worst spells in the
One of my favorite
entire
bosses.
game
Everyone
for
hates him, but
resurrecting.
I think it's cool.
Karian Slicer takes around 10, it's like 10 slices per bar of resurrection. Yeah, I don't know. Most magic is absolute, complete, and utter fucking shit for resurrecting.
Cinema.
Stars of Ruin does do a lot, though. The problem is you also get, like... You get a little... I don't know, it's so easy to get overwhelmed on this character with all the different spells that you may potentially have.
Whoa, that's big.
The space whale.
So cool.
Whoa. Should I open this now?
Who's even hitting him? I'm doing like literally nothing. Did we stun him already again?
Oh my god. There's another one. I don't think we're gonna make it.
Oh,
I'm dead.
one of us has a res, I think. Larksta has one.
Oh, thank god. Get me up. I'll get this.
Almost wiped to Augur. Ruh-roh.
Dude.
Was that because you were like too close to the
Yep.
I don't have like a single spell that could break that freaking thing.
Yeah, I was like, is he gonna do it? I was like, I wasn't sure if I would get close or farm. We're gonna go for the cinema finish. How's your ult, Arson?
so far away. Oh, get closer!
Okay, okay. Well, it's time.
Yeah, don't finish him!
Let's go.
Yeah! Yeah!
Oh.
Let's go! That's
Nice job, team. We did it!
Woohoo!
That was actually such an insane run.
Give me a good relic. Come on, game.
Ooh.
But
That
so
might
good.
actually be good.
Expend own HP to fully heal nearby allies when activating arts. The Revenant.
That
Sounds so cool.
can be good. Ooh, that's really good.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I
bad.
like Recluse, but it's so hard to like.
That
The
res is clutch.
The magic cocktail is so cool, but it's also. It just feels like you're trolling by trying to use it. like I want to use it, but it's also like you're better off literally just spamming the same ability over and over again. I kind of hate it. I hate that that's better. And what is this executor build? Could have sworn I had something better on the executor. These are like terrible. Well, oh wait, no, it's the frost start. Oh right, and the sacred blade. Right. Your min-max brain can't handle it. Yeah.
Talking about the primordial night lord, the NPC.
Oh?
Go down?
Oh, you unlocked the...
Oh, I unlocked another boss! Oh, sick. So cool.
They nerfed the cocktails before launch. Yeah, maybe.
So my round table hold.
Yo,
is
what's up,
really
Maxie?
Should I be worried?
No, welcome to your new home.
Oh, okay, okay.
I wish you could change it back.
I don't know who I want to play as, man. I kind of want to play as just like a raider, maybe.
Yeah, this one's not too bad.
Like blood loss on my starting weapon. I don't know if I really... That is very useful as raider.
You guys down for another, or what's going on?
I'm done for
Are
one.
you guys going to bed?
Yeah, I
One
could
more?
do one more.
One last
Sure.
one.
One last run. That sounds perfect to me.
Well, I've already seen. No, I wanna. Do you guys want to do Libra?
You can do Libra if you
Yeah.
want, sure.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Pull out. I'm gonna pull out my Raider.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play Revenant anyways. I could do Raider, but
Yeah, I'll get this one. Honestly,
maybe I'll play
Maybe
Guardian just for
triple.
the fucking memes.
Triple Iron Eye? Oh.
triple Iron Eye. Yes. No. Just realized I have triple green stamina recovery. That's crazy.
You know what? We gotta go.
No, that's good. All right. 1 sec. I'll be back.
Okay.
We gotta get the select. We gotta get the.
1 sec.
I'm gonna get the fucking. I'm being the sunlight bird. Fuck it. Fuck it, dude. Maybe I could get a better thing for the yellow though here. Do you have any better yellow? Maybe we could get frost.
I'm back.
Hello. This going burb?
Yeah.
Oh
Are
shit!
you
I thought
insane?
nobody played the bird.
I play
Libra,
the
that might be a
bird.
terrible idea, admittedly.
Perfect.
I'm worried.
Yeah, Guardian
Murphy, you
is
gotta beat the game, dude.
kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. It'll be fine.
Can the bird ult? The bird ult can't even frickin' interrupt the thing.
Yeah, I think it can. Maybe. I've seen it do it.
Bird alt res is so good though.
Yep. Insane. Dude using Slayer Burb.
Mm-hmm.
OP.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the bird feels kind of bad.
Be easy Libra kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've killed him enough.
True. Well, yeah, kind of.
Bong. Jesus.
Raider is my
Oh look, and now I get good spells. It's so hard to find a fucking holy
Lark, you want this in
damaging
your
spell
offhand?
though.
Yeah.
Like, getting
and
holy
attacks.
element is so awful.
Thank you.
Well,
Just keep it actively equipped in your offhand. It'll be good.
I mean, if we go to the madness camp up north, we can eat the boluses now,
Let's do it.
I guess.
Let's do it. I'm hungry for boluses.
Oh, there's a chest here.
And there might be super vikes. Ow. Stupid crab. It's great for me. You don't get benefits from weapons that are actively equipped? Some of them, yep. Only some. Could be a hand icon. There's also some weird exceptions. But for the most part, you have to have a red hand icon. You gotta fucking do it. I'm gonna say fuck the shield. Got something for you, Larksa. 10% weapon attack.
Oh, thank you.
Lucky. Any jump attacks? Any jump attacks? No. No, this is so sad. No.
There's jump attack at merchant for 9k.
We're going to the church.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fucking take it.
Yeah, where do we want to go? Oh, actually, no.
We should go try to go do castle, admittedly. Just kill like maybe one more on the way. Make it a little easier.
You want to go to the castle?
Yeah.
Maybe a church too? Just grab it?
My jump attack is 10k. Didn't you say 9?
Oh, I guess I have the discount.
You.
Oh, no, I don't have it. Huh.
What the hell?
Maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing.
Maybe we have different shops? That's not right, is it?
Oh, you know, maybe I was I saw it was at 9%, so I thought that was 9,000. I don't know.
Oh, you really got goofed. Happens to the best of us. I'm a little slow, fat, so I'll be a little behind.
Yeah, that's alright. Man, we're getting so many like shifting earths. What is this?
Nice. Different ones too.
I never get any, dude. I just
get
played
any.
10 hours a day and it's just nothing. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's because Lark's first playthrough. They're like showing her, and they're popping up often.
Yeah, the
maybe.
cutscene was like talking about shit or something. I'm not sure.
Where are we going? The castle?
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are going.
Yeah, I don't know. Lark said we just gotta keep going south.
Okay, did we kill this thing? We don't have time.
Probably
I
not.
don't know about that.
Yeah.
game froze. Oh, it's
Oh
back.
god.
Interesting. That game muting last stream was like the weirdest thing to happen. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm freaked
it's
out by it.
weird.
In my head. But it was also the whole stream, so. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't have no idea
that's
what
really
that
weird.
It's freaking me out. I'll figure it out, maybe. Oh,
Oh god.
everybody's favorite tutorial. Yeah, sorry. Can't wait for the Beyblade spins. Aww.
Get my weapon, I'm just making a
Yoink.
Pokeball. Oh, this is body trap. I did not think this would be okay. Thank you. Thank you. My life. Wyrm is good. God, we bullied him out. We were gonna send him outside, dude. This sort of sucks.
Oh, I still can't use the weapon. That's
Who all's
awkward.
partied? We got Distortion 2 and freaking Larksa.
Hello.
We're game. You can change it back? How? I don't think
Oh
that's
god,
true.
it's the trolls.
Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, yeah.
You might want that?
Sorry, I was talking about Haywood. Do you know Haywood? Hey, would you blow me? Sorry! It's like that!
It's a good thing we don't have shared chat on.
Oh,
been
jump
trying to
attacks
share.
there.
Oh, there we go. Ow, these fucking trolls.
Do we want to just go to this church? I
Yeah,
guess
let's do it.
we can even get both the churches. Not the highest level for day one, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we should stay and do the giants, honestly, after this church.
Yeah? Alright, sure.
Yeah, I think we sort of have to. And because what, if we run all the way down there, we're gonna get the...
I mean, I do have a stone sword key.
Okay, well, maybe we can do
least.
the stone sword key. But we're gonna have to be quick. Or maybe the boss in the middle, too. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's give it a shot.
Zelda, what are you doing? Yeah, the giants are the fucking worst.
Yeah, the giants in
Yeah,
the
no, to my
castle are
knowledge,
kind
you
of a
cannot change
pain.
the round table hold back, so.
Oh no, as a solo, I just go straight for the fucking castle. I just don't even like... Well, I normally do castle on day 2.
Stone sword?
You?
Yeah, let's do it!
Do I use the normal sprint at all? Yeah.
Nah, not really it.
Holy shit.
Voice damage is coming. Dude. Sort of legit. Yep, always.
Yeah.
Middle?
Or
Sure.
he's really locked in.
Huh?
I never could tell if this is muted or locked in, so I don't say anything.
Yes.
It's like 50-50.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I have to be quick about it though.
And the tree is like, we got a while actually.
Yeah, we got the time.
Yeah, I got the huge guard counter. I hope they like buff Guardian stuff a little bit more.
Weapon skill is so bad.
Sky shot.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like it's
Oh my god, I can't fucking hit him.
holy damage! God damn!
That was the martyr paint on the jump attack.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I will simply choose this. 10 damage.
10. Huge.
Yeah, give me that. Oh, you need that more actually.
We can both use
Oh,
it.
actually, I could use it. Actually, no, it's fine. You can have it. I'm a gracious god.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just happy not to see an ancient dragon boss anymore.
Oh, I hate that fucking guy.
Yeah. I was doing solo and I constantly got ancient dragon boss.
Yep, same.
It's horrible.
Takes like 10 hours to kill him.
Yeah.
I wonder how much defense you get from the iron jar.
Well, very good loot. Still starting one.
Is it white?
Fine. Oh, I have my Eclipse Shuttle at level 10. Like,
Oh, fucking Tibia Mariner, my favorite. I love this boss.
Lawrence, have you done the Frostbound?
I haven't.
You haven't, okay. I want to see the six jump.
This is like the most dog shit fight ever, man. I swear to God. It's just like, it's so fucking boring. Oh my God.
So I just uppercutted grandma instead of didn't know they could do
30.
that without grandma. Oh yeah. Trash stuff, but whatever. Let's go do all the big bosses, or actually,
I'm down to do the top boss at the castle now.
yeah, we could do top boss at castle, and then mountain.
Yeah,
I'll do
sure.
it.
Skeleton Lords. Skeleton Lords would be cool, yeah.
Good tired. Long day.
Yeah, same. I'm not Not used to playing this late.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for
No, it's
joining,
okay.
though.
You don't have to be sorry. Not really sure what the... I guess we can kill some of the trolls too.
While we're here, might as well.
I'm just gonna ult. Dude, just fuck this guy up.
I'm on the edge. Oh, fuck. That's a hard choice. Oh, station's defeat.
Yeah, sure.
You said you know a way to jump up to the top, right?
Mm-hmm. Here, I mean, if you follow me, I mean, we're basically right there, but I can show you this secret skip strat.
I've seen this actually. I think I watched it.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
You gotta, yeah, you gotta be. It's
Okay.
okay.
Not, like, sprint.
Yeah, and there's also a troll throwing pots at us.
Still
So,
alive.
So where do I go from here?
just go around the side. Oh, I'm failing. Huge skip.
Okay, I think I'm up.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
That's huge.
Yeah.
oh, what the hell?
That's awesome.
Oh, I think I went the wrong way.
I'm gonna ult for us.
Bomb. Huge. Thank you. It's a really good ult. Oh my god. Are you good?
Doing great, Larksa.
I think I found it. I think I found it.
I'm getting a little worried. Fuck it, we'll do it.
We got plenty of time.
Ow. Cornering him a little bit, so look at this. Oh my. Wow.
Oh my god, I got a madness weapon.
Really?
Got a fingerprint shield.
Holy shit.
Damn! That's crazy.
Dude,
That's
charge
insane.
him. Like, hit him.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I wonder what if it stops this, like, thing.
Oh, it has fucking holy ground on it though. It doesn't have the,
The bash.
yeah, the charge.
Bit of a bummer, but I mean, you can still land it and just like
Yeah, I'm gonna beat his ass with
Good. Excellent.
it. Oh, I'll show you the strat here.
Yep. Up the mountain we go.
It's time to Skyrim.
All right, let's kill this troll.
Yeah, we got a lot of time.
What does Gravity Stone fan do?
Very good.
All right, follow me.
Time. I'm very, very excited for this.
All right, let's kill this dragon for the anti-dragon effect real quick.
Oh, smart.
Follow me.
Anti-dragon. I don't think I've done this before. The anti-dragon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
smart.
the like little weak one always drops it. It's pretty nice.
Oh, that makes sense. Bad dog.
Alright.
Alright, so up here.
Alright, follow me. Oh, heal up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to eat the frostbite rock.
Whoa!
Yup, it's nasty.
Oh, that's a crazy dragon.
Yo, what the fucking Skyrim bullshit is this?
Wait, where are we going to?
Up.
Okay, up. Alright.
Oh my god, you really can Skyrim this bitch.
That's crazy!
No way! What the fuck? That's some bullshit.
Whoa!
That is so free.
I gained the power!
You fucking tree.
Yeah, we can kill him. I mean, we have the anti-dragon now, so hopefully that helps a bit.
I don't know if it does. I've never tried it.
Well, I've noticed like normally you hit for like really like low melee damage on this guy.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit stronger. I can't tell. I got frostbitten out of the last time I didn't know that was a thing. Well, that answers that question. Wow.
I'm gonna come ult him. Oh shit. Oh, you still got it. Nice. I was ready. Legendary.
Oh, look, it's
Eclipse
Moblin's
Hotel.
Sacred Spear.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I win. Do you want the Sacred Spear?
I got the fingerprint shield.
Okay, I will bleed him, you madness him. Alright, let's go kill this boss before he goes.
Let's do it.
We're gonna
There's
speed
also
run.
one more boss to our
Yeah, but
east.
we'll go in.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
It'll bring us to him. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, aw, it's too late. Okay, let's just do that one. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that one. Let's stop pushing.
That's doing so much. That's actually insane.
Oh, we evaporated those.
Yep. Sent them to hell.
I have more jump attacks boost for you.
I'll take
You
that.
want
Oh,
it?
yeah. Fuck.
I have the res grace.
Oh, you got another one? Nice.
Improved attack power when two-handing Larksa.
Oh!
You want that?
Yeah, I'll get it.
There is normally a boss by this, like... Oh, no, actually, never mind. There isn't one on this map, sadly. It gets, like, removed on the Frost map for some reason.
That sucks. Yeah, there's not really much to do. We got here early. I just want to make sure Larksa saw it.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Yeah.
fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Now you get to see the Skyrim strap.
Yeah, the normal strat is to go on and fucking change.
Yeah, the normal way
like
is
the
so
Skyrim
slow.
strat. Yeah, it takes like 10 hours.
If you don't want to do the Skyrim strat, but you still want to go fast, you can go up this chain. Like up to the north. It's a little bit better.
What is so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like situational.
Can you buy smithing stones at the last shop? You can, right? Like baby ones?
Just level 1, yeah.
Think. Yeah, okay. All I need is a level 1 just to get my shit.
I just love to see where the swarm is, like when you fly.
That's a fun one if you don't get it. It's time. Use item. That's cool as heck.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
Oh, I frenzy while walking, and the boss is weak to frenzy, right?
Oh shit!
I'll take
That
that one.
is gonna be insane for you.
Yeah.
I forgot to use the foot. I'm like super tired, chat. Ugh. I forgot.
Level 15 just. Oh, I don't have enough for a smithing stone.
I'll
Does
buy you
anyone
one.
have one?
Wait, can I buy and drop it for
Thank you. Yeah, I got it. This got me.
Nice.
I got
was
you,
like,
bud.
do you have money for candy at the store? Please.
Here, you might want this, Oro.
Let me see. I'll take whatever you give me. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
I wonder, can you double frostbite like both of them?
We'll find out. Should be able to. Game only about killing bosses, essentially. Yeah. At the highest level of play, yeah. Boss rush with friends.
I can't wait to see the hard mode bosses.
Me,
And I said that
I
earlier.
can't believe they're even doing that. I hope there's like really good relics for it.
Yeah. I have still yet to get like any actual really good relic.
I've gotten some insane ones. I've gotten some fucking insane like best in slot ones I'm very happy with.
Dang.
Like for Executor, I got Frost and Seppuku on one. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's I think I have one
guess
of
I'll win.
those, but
Or not
the third
Seppuku,
effect
sorry.
was still not great.
I have Executor damage boost, sorry. It's like damage boost on his like his deflect thing. It's still
Yeah,
really
I mean,
good.
Frost start with Seppuku would be insane too.
Yeah. I combine them anyways, but yeah.
So do we take a deal here, or what's the strat for this one?
Talk to him and see what he's got. He might have some good one.
Do we all have to see the same one?
Nope, we all get different ones. The good old Death at Bay.
I have Deep Faith, Greatness, and Strength. Is any of those good?
No. I'm gonna.
I am refusing.
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh, you sure can, Diz. Look at this.
Nice.
Frostbite time. It's blocking.
Oh, I madnessed him.
Oh, let's go!
Oh my god, got the repulse. Dude,
Yeah,
that
I'll-
was so fucking sick. Oh, I just instantly kicked. What the fuck?
Ooh, this might be overkill, but I'm an ult. Yeah, I probably should have waited.
It'll hit me, and I get fucked. Not overkill. Oh, right in the face. Iron jarring?
Yeah. Oh, I madnessed him again.
Fucking his head like one
That was insane!
most insane Libra run I think I've seen. Wow.
Yeah,
Like
the
a
first
fucking kid.
it's the first time I've actually seen him like the madness proc on him.
That was awesome.
I just start walking around him.
Insane. Our boss is supposed to be melted like that? No. I mean, they are, but...
Wow. I got 2 endurance, 3 strength, 3 arcane. Almost a +9 relic.
That's crazy. If only the stats were good.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
shifted
lightning damage.
Earth, rotted woods or something. Shifted Earth.
I'm really sad about the stats being like sort of trash stuff. These are pretty bad. Wow, yeah, they're all terrible. Oh well.
Classic.
Extra merc.
Chilling mist. That's nice. All right. That was fun. Fun doing Guardian. Still not. I don't know, man. The whirlwind is. Somebody was telling me there's like some whirlwind effect for Guardian that makes it do like frost. And now that sounds crazy, but I don't know if I was just getting one guide.
You might be getting one guy, dude. I've never heard of that in my life, dude. I
Yeah.
think that's bullshit, dude.
Yeah, probably.
Chat, what do you think? I've never seen that in my life. It's true? Someone says it's true. Maybe it's the same one guy.
Oh my god, legend.
No, I don't know. That sounds really good, if that's true. I haven't seen that yet, though. You guys all done for tonight?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. Had a good stream, had some good runs.
Yeah, thanks for the
playing,
games, man.
guys.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you for playing. Thank you.
It's always so fun to play with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lark says.
Freaking G.
GG's.
Yeah, GG. She's got 3 more bosses to go, so.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad we could knock some out for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
have a good night,
you.
man.
Bye bye.
GG's, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
All right, chat. I am really tired. But I thought I would do a little late night stream, little surprise stream. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. This is not my normal. Oh my god, this is not my normal stream hours at all. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. It's fun to get Larksis some more completions done. I'll give a raid to Oro. Yeah, have a good night, guys. Tomorrow I actually have a sponsored stream. We're gonna be on the front page of Twitch. We're doing a sponsored stream for like this Samsung monitor. They sent me like a 49-inch gaming monitor, so I'm gonna be playing like Nightreign and trying to make you guys buy Samsung monitors tomorrow. So yeah. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Oro's raiding. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Let's not raid Oro then. I'm gonna give a raid to I'll give a raid to Mitch. Mr. Mitch Riz. Yeah, go side of Mitch if you'd like, guys. Yeah, thank you all for joining me for the late night stream. I know this is probably pretty unexpected, but yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I might try to do some more of the level 1 runs. I don't know. I'll be honest, I feel like I'm like feeling a little bit burned out on this game. Like I am still having fun with it, but I do kind of want to play some other stuff as well, potentially. I don't know, like the level 1 challenge has been fun. But past that, I don't really know what to do challenge run-wise, apart from just, I guess, beating. I mean, I could just like beat all the different Night Lords with all the different classes, I guess. I do want to try the RE4 OG permadeath. I set it up the other day, although I think I set it up at my parents' place, so I'm gonna have to set it up again. But Box sent me all the settings for it. Yeah, it would be fun to do some of the RE4 OG rando. Try the demo for that Hell Is Us Souls-like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've heard about that, but that sounds interesting. Alright, anyways, have a good night, guys. Thank you all for watching. I will see you tomorrow.